Why would a man who distrusted the physical world join a Roman army and march into the heart of Persia? Plotinus, the philosopher who would later teach that true reality lies far beyond the senses, once sought answers through danger, not comfort. He wasn't driven by conquest or politics, but by a burning desire to understand the universe, not just from Greek or Roman thought, but from everywhere the known world touched. Born in Roman Egypt around 204 or 205 CE, Plotinus showed little interest in daily affairs. What captured his curiosity was the unseen, the essence behind all things. Around the age of 27, he arrived in Alexandria and spent years searching for a guide who could offer more than theories. When he heard Ammonius Saccas lecture, he knew he'd found the voice he'd been waiting for. For the next 11 years, Plotinus immersed himself in intense study, honing the ideas that would one day become the heart of Neoplatonism. But Alexandria wasn't enough. Plotinus hungered for wisdom from other lands. When Emperor Gordian III announced a military campaign to Persia in 242 CE, Plotinus saw an opportunity, not for glory but for philosophical discovery. He joined the march east, hoping to meet Persian sages and Indian mystics. The journey was long, harsh, and ultimately disastrous. The campaign collapsed, the emperor was killed, and Plotinus found himself stranded in hostile territory. He managed to escape and fled north to Antioch, weary and disillusioned. From there he travelled west to Rome, a place he had once dismissed as the seat of power rather than wisdom. Yet it was in Rome that his real mission began. Within the bustling capital, Plotinus became a quiet force. He didn't open a formal school or seek public attention, but his presence attracted minds from every corner of society. Senators came to him for guidance, physicians sought his perspective, and scholars gathered to hear his thoughts. Among his closest followers was Porphyry, a brilliant thinker in his own right, who later edited and organised Plotinus's writings into 6 groups of 9 treatises, the Enneads. Plotinus didn't treat philosophy as debate or performance. For him it was a way of life. He taught that all existence flowed from a singular, ineffable source, the One. This origin was not a being nor a force, it was absolute unity, beyond thought, beyond description. From it emerged the divine mind, and from there, the soul. Each level drifted further from perfection, yet all were bound by a yearning to return to the One. The human soul too could make that journey, not through ritual or logic, but by shedding distractions, purifying itself and seeking stillness. He lived his philosophy. Plotinus declined all statues and portraits, claiming that the physical form was beneath the dignity of the soul. He owned little, gave freely, and was said to blush when praised. Even as his influence grew, he avoided public display. He rarely spoke of his origins, preferring to focus on the inner world rather than external labels. Despite suffering from recurring illness, he continued teaching with remarkable calm. He would sometimes pause mid-sentence, lost in contemplation, before returning to his thought with renewed clarity. His writing, while profound, was not easy. He often admitted that the truths he grasped in silence slipped away when he tried to put them into words. Porphyry, who once found life too heavy and considered suicide, credited Plotinus with restoring his will to live. In the final year of his life, weakened but undeterred, Plotinus withdrew to a countryside estate in Campania. There he spent his last days in reflection, accompanied by only a few close friends. His final words, as recorded by Porphyry, reflected the core of his teaching. "I am striving to bring the God that is in us back to the God that is in the all." Plotinus died in 270 CE.